Okay, so let's take a look at the different rules. So let's start off with drawing a line segment and drawing a ray. And if this angle is 150 degrees, I know that angles on a line add to 180. Angles on a line sum to 180. It's the rule supplementary. So if I know that these add to 180, I can just do 180 minus 150 equals 30 degrees. Supplementary angles, angles on a line add to 180 degrees. Okay, let's take a right angle and let's divide that angle into an angle of 70 and find out what the other angle is. Well, we know that they must add to get 90. So 90 minus 70 equals 20. And we can put 20 degrees in the diagram. I'm going to start circling my answers, circle the 30 above to show one thing is what we had, one thing is what we're looking for. Okay, so let's take this thing. So angles on a point add to 360. So they could give you a bunch of them and you could find the other ones, but I'm just going to say 160, 20, 40, 120, 20. And they have to add to 360. Angles on a point add to 360. Okay, let's get into some of the more useful rules. So let's take a look at the X rule. And if this angle is 110, I know that this angle is 110. Opposite angles are equal. Now, getting into parallel lines are two lines that are parallel, and you can either put two ticks or beside it one tick to show that those lines are parallel. And if you have multiple sets of parallel lines, then you'll want to use different signs to not overlap, etc. So we just saw the X rule. Let's now take a look at the Z rule. If these angles are parallel, and this is 50, I know this is also 50. So that's the Z rule. Alternate interior angles are equal. So now let's take a look at two versions of corresponding angles. So let's take this diagram and this diagram. So let's take some parallel lines. And if this angle is 50, I know this one is 50. They look the same, they're parallel, they're the same. If this is 130, this is 130. You've got parallel lines, they look the same, they are the same. So I call that letter a C. Some people call it an F, etc. All the same. So that's corresponding angles are equal. Now let's see parallel lines. So if I get this angle of 130, I know this angle is 50. That is co-interior, and that definitely looks like a C. So, whoops, that C got in the way of the video. I'm just going to move it over a bit. Great. So reviewing from the top, angles on a line add to 180. Angles in a right angle add to 90. Angles on a point add to 360. Opposite angles are equal, the X rule. Alternate interior angles are equal if the lines are parallel. Corresponding angles are equal if the lines are parallel and look the same. And co-interior angles, two angles on the inside of parallel lines on the same side of the transversal, add to 180. So you need to be able to identify a more complicated problem and be able to apply any of these rules in any order that you see fit. You might have to explain the rule that you used in English, like saying, from the top, angles on a line sum to 180, or angles sum to 90, or angles on a point add to 360, or opposite angles equal, or alternate interior angles equal, or corresponding angles equal, or co-interior angles equal.